Like I said, I had a little shoot that I ran out to, and it wasn't bad. It was just kind of like just wet. But on the way back home, as I was finishing up, man, it was starting to get kind of crazy, like back towards my area.
Yeah.
Like it was probably about like a half an inch of just sleet just on the ground, man. It's gonna be interesting, man, because I don't know if they're gonna get all the streets and shit plowed in time. To be honest,
We have different layers right now of snow. So
gotcha.
you have your ice, you have your wet snow, you have your semi fluffy snow, and then you just have your fluffy snow. And you
Okay,
have to dig in with like just spikes. I don't know, whatever those pitchforks. You gotta bah, bah, bah.
yeah, to break
It
it
ain't gonna
up.
happen. Nah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Like I know just and I was just trying to shovel out, my garage area. It was like chunks of ice like this thick, man.
No
I'm
way.
like, shit. And it hadn't even been 24 hours.
So you said you were doing a shoot. What kind of shoot is it?
it was
What
just a
was it?
some headshots.
Mm. What do you?
Yeah.
So I met you in 2015, and during that time, you were making music,
Yep. Making music. It was like producing music more than anything, really.
right? And so what happened? What happened with the? Well, first off, introduce yourself. You're my. We just started talking because we
I know,
usually
right?
just talk. Yeah, we
Just jump right
usually just
into it.
jump right into it. But introduce yourself. Like, who are you? Where are you from? How long have you been doing what you're doing?
Yeah, yeah. So my name's Justin Jane. I am a videographer. I run a company called Spare Time Footage. I started it back in probably about 3 years now. So we're in our third full year of business. So we kind of focus on like a wide range of videography aspects, from wedding videography, concerts, promotions, live events, broadcasting, streaming. It's a lot. We do a litany of things. So I'm
Jeez.
based in Columbus, Ohio. So that's where I'm at, man.
That's freaking awesome. I've been to Columbus, Ohio, and I got lost in
Oh, really?
downtown. Yeah, so I went on a road trip by myself in 20 when I was 22. Yeah, about 11 years ago or so.
Okay.
And I just went on a quick road trip. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Washington D.C. because I went to Washington D.C. as a kid. I won this science fair, or I was a part like I won a trip alongside with maybe about 15 others, and
Dope.
we went there. I had a good time as a child, so I decided to go back. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and check out the monuments. And I went. I went by Columbus, Ohio. Downtown is like a circle.
It
It's like,
is.
yeah, it's like I was like, wait, have you ever played those? Well, it's not something that you play, but it's like that little toy where it has that little ball, but that has like a circular maze, and you had to get to the centers or something like that.
think I know. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I know what you're
that's how
talking
I felt. I
about.
thought I was the ball. I was just all right, right. How do I get
Like,
there? How do
oh
I get
shit,
there?
where am I going? I don't know what I'm doing. That's
Yeah, I
funny.
didn't know what I was doing, but I passed by there and I was like, all right, awesome, I liked it. I haven't been there since, but I wanted to take another road trip down like the east side of the states, but right
Yeah.
now, yeah, you can't do anything right now.
Nah, man, it's COVID has changed so much, man. Like it's been interesting. A lot of the trips and stuff that I was wanting to take and all that, man, I had to kind of cut short.
Jeez, but you just continued your podcast because you were doing a podcast for a bit, and then there was like a what 6 month layoff or so that where you were just I didn't see any new episodes, and then maybe about a month ago or so, 2 months ago, I saw that you posted something, and I was like, all right, he's back. Like he's back doing his own thing, and it's you and your girlfriend or your wife.
Yeah, me and my wife, man. We just started back up. We took some a nice long hiatus. It's really more her thing than anything. It's kind of something I kind of jump in and help her
Oh,
out with. But it's both of us, man. But yeah, I mean, we it's cool. We took a step back, just trying to figure out like what we were doing. We had a lot of stuff going on. just like personally. So we just wanted to figure stuff out, and really, you know, decide to be consistent with it. You know what I mean? That's like a big thing for me this year. Is just anything that I do, I want to do it consistently.
Right. Yeah, I think it's last year pretty much just put like a dent on everybody's life.
Dude, it's
Or
changed everything.
yeah, no matter what and it wasn't just COVID. I mean, it started with like the fires in Australia, and
Yeah,
then Kobe passed, and then
yeah,
and the thing is, you see a lot of other passings with celebrities, but for some reason, like Kobe's death,
yeah.
it is
It hit
part of
me.
those events,
Yeah,
you know. And
yeah.
other people passed away, but and I think it was just the fact that he touched so many lives. He's a like I was a big fan of the NBA when Jordan was in the NBA. I actually
Same.
went to one of the finals. To
Ah,
Yeah, I went to one of the finals. A kid across the street, his sister works for the police station, and they were able to score some tickets. And
that's dope.
yeah, I was there. But even then, going to the era of Kobe,
Hmm.
I always had still that attachment to the NBA a little bit, not as much, because as time progressed, I kind of got into other sports,
Got
and
you.
it's kind of hard to get into to like every sport. You
Yeah,
have to be invested in ESPN
it's like
in order to get to
nonstop, man. Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's too much.
But I mean, those just his passing was just like part of 2020 as far as like the worst things that happened. It's just because of so many people looking up to somebody like him. It's just
And
all about hard work and dedication and being better,
it's just
bettering
his
yourself.
impact, man. Just everything that he represented. I really like strongly feel he was like the Jordan, of our era. I don't think you're gonna get another player that has that same mentality and tenacity and just skill and impact. Obviously we have like LeBron, but I just feel that there's in such different styles of play.
Oh yeah.
And I think now, just the NBA as we know it has changed. I don't think I see anybody that really has that kind of Jordan killer Kobe mentality. It was unique, man. Something rare.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, for you, if you don't mind me asking, or if you
Yeah.
just don't mind saying, what happened, how did 2020 impact you? Like, what did it do to you? What things got canceled, or
Yeah.
what happened for you?
It's funny that you even asked me that because I just literally on the 30th I released a short film of our entire year, my entire year of
I
2020.
saw that.
Yeah.
It's
And
beautiful.
so appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So in that it kind of goes over a lot of, what my experiences were. And just, it shifted everything, like I said, majority of my business when we came out of the year 2019 into 2020, it was like a lot of weddings, a lot of large events, and gatherings and things like that we were prepping for. And so when they announced that you could only have X amount of people in certain spaces and so on and so forth, all of that kind of went away.
Right.
So, you know, it would look like it was kind of going to be like, holy shit, what am I going to do? It kind of shifted because it created like new opportunities. So, which is how I ended up getting into like live streaming and like doing live broadcasts and things of that nature. So I mean, it was just a matter of being able to pivot, And
Yeah.
so yeah, it sucked because we lost a lot, and so it created a lot of stuff on the front end that we were just trying to figure out. But once we kind of got our bearings together and really just like, okay, we're gonna figure out a plan and just approach it in a different way, and things started to work out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, I saw that video a couple of times when you posted it a few days ago, I believe, and then I saw it today in the morning. And first off, great job, freaking
Appreciate it, man.
awesome. I like the
Appreciate it.
layout with the TV, like old school TV. For me, I don't know why. That's just something that popped. And then just I don't know, it's just like being able to see all the footage, but then you came in and you started, talking on a personal level.
Yeah.
It just added to it, and just being able to see somebody from even another city, another state, you know having to go through something like that,
Yeah.
it yeah, you really you put everything into perspective, and I do appreciate you putting it out there, and I wanted to share it, but
Yeah.
you only have it on IGTV, right?
I have it on two places right now. So I have it on my IGTV and
Yeah.
then my business YouTube page.
Ooh.
So if you go to Spare Time Footage, you search us on YouTube, you'll see it right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna put all these links down. Here's the other. I
Yeah,
just got
man.
the notifications for our second meeting. I gave you a second meeting because I was like, all right, if I fuck up, if I fuck up the first time, at least we got a second meeting.
Right, right.
No, yeah, yeah, it was pretty awesome,
I
and I've been a
appreciate
big
it.
fan of your work too. Just like the
Appreciate that,
going back
man.
to the music.
Yeah.
I remember uh, when I was planning on doing my YouTube, I didn't know what to do with it, and
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, let me go ahead and ask these people, like, what can I get things from? Like, so when I asked you for your music and I listened to some of your snippets, I was like, man, this is freaking awesome. The Misunderstood one, that was
Yeah, I
pretty,
appreciate
I
that.
think that's the one that I was going to pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, just going back, like the music part, I haven't heard you put any more music out. Is it something that you just are moving from?
It's weird, man. I have a it's kind of like I have an interesting relationship with music, I'll say. For music, for me, it was never ever meant for other people, if that makes any sense. Like it was always as a way as a means for me to express myself, to vent, get my ideas out, and just kind of relieve whatever I was thinking. It was always more that than it was like a business per se for me.
Right.
And so I just the passion started to kind of wane a little bit, man, just because it's like, all right, man, I'm getting older. I have a lot of hobbies, but I need these hobbies to be, to make money for me. You know what I mean? Like I need them to be productive to my future, to my kids' future, to my wife's. And so that's just, kind of where it started to shift, man. Cause I had invested so much into equipment and gear and software and all of that. And it was just sitting, you know what I mean?
Right. No, yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, it's just one of those things you got to narrow it down. You
Yep.
can't be the master of all. You're gonna be the master of
Exactly.
none.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to get your niche or whatever they say. Yeah,
No, yeah.
you got to do that, because if you just juggle so many things around, you're never gonna learn it 100%. And I yeah, it's happened to all of us, definitely. It's been like that
100%,
for
man.
everybody.
And
um
it's interesting that you even say that, because I feel like that's been part of my journey, even with the video side of things. It's
mhm.
because video is so broad as far as the different avenues that you can go down and just that you can do. So it's like I'm learning more and more about myself each day, far as like, okay, I don't really necessarily like doing this too much, but this over here, like I'm really good at, I really enjoy, I kind of want to go down, this avenue further, and I just think that's something that, we kind of go through just in life in general as you get older. If that's just the way you kind of think, if you're trying to work towards something, you'll begin to narrow out like what doesn't work for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have you thought about, well, I don't know if you're doing this now, but have you thought about, with the talent that you have and the exposure that you
Hmm.
have you been able to connect with other younger videographers and photographers and teach them, especially in your city? Ohio's not big on like videography, right?
It's not, man. But I will say this: what is really interesting about Ohio and Columbus specifically is that it is one of like the budding spots for fashion and creativity. So it's starting to be a real like a lot of opportunity in those kind of two lanes now.
Yeah.
So there's starting to be more videographers and things like that that I'm starting to notice are kind of coming up. And so, just to answer the first part of the question that you asked, um, I always reach out. I always try to help, whoever's willing or wanting to learn. I'm working with a young guy now who's, kind of trying to, learn the ropes and all that. So he's been helping me out on a few gigs. But I don't personally go out of my way to reach out to people, if that makes
Right.
any sense. If someone reaches out to me, I'm an open book, man. You can come on to a set with me, or shoot or whatever, if you can carry yourself right and show up on time. But I don't go and try to like, hey, can you help me do this? Hey, can you help me do that? Hey, you want to teach this? You want to learn that? But if you're willing, if you come to me willing, I'm gonna pour in, however much I can.
It seems that like a lot of people would get, you know, a bad rep for saying stuff like, I'm not the one reaching out to them. If they want to
Hmm.
reach out to me, they can. But in reality, that's just how it should be. I
It
mean,
is, man.
and just because when I wanted to start the podcast in the
Hmm.
beginning, I wanted to do voice only. So I did voice only just so then that way I could get a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that I know that I feel should either do a YouTube
Yep.
channel, should have a YouTube channel, or should start a podcast.
Hmm.
And it's specific people, either
Yeah.
people that are hilarious, people that are creative. And
Hmm.
so then I would tell them, hey, I would invite them to do a podcast episode with me, and they just would act like they are already above everything. Like
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it for you. No, like
Right.
you're a beginner and I'm trying to start something here.
Right.
So I'm
Exactly.
trying to invite you. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. And then they just think that they're the shit. And I'm just like, bro, you haven't even done anything yet.
Right.
I haven't
Yeah.
done anything yet, but I'm
Right.
just trying to do, to do this. And
Right.
they're, you know, yeah, that's the biggest thing. And so I think when people do say that are already doing so, that are already established,
Yep.
and they get a bad rep for that. People have to understand that, like let's say you're busy.
That's the
Even
thing,
before
man.
this, you were already doing a photo shoot, so you're
Yep.
taking the time to talk to me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And so then, for me, even though when I was asking you, I was like, I don't want to overdo it and over ask them, but then finally I stopped being a little bitch and started doing this. and
Yeah.
then and then uh because of COVID and because of 2020, and yeah, you were open about it. You were like, yeah, sure, you
100%.
were all welcoming. You
100%.
wanted to do it too. And yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed about just people in general. You tell
Yeah.
them, you ask them to do something because you believe in them, but
Hmm.
then they kind of already have it in their head, like, yeah, I am the shit, even though I
Yep.
haven't done anything.
And
Like, no,
that's
you haven't
it's
done anything.
yeah, man. It's funny, man. I don't know. It's a lot of people like that. I feel like we all know people like that, in our personal space and
100%.
personal life, man. But it's like you were saying I don't know. I've kind of got to a point where I don't really care what
Yeah,
people say and how they feel. You know what I mean? Just because I know what my goals are, and I know the effort and the energy that it takes to get those goals. So I'm just like, you either gonna be with me and helping me achieve those goals, or you can get out of my way. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And so that is why for me it's like I kind of got like how you were saying, man, like I got to get out of this little role, like, oh man, I don't want to ask people to do certain things. Look, if I got an idea and I need help to get that idea to bring it to fruition, and you are part of that, hey, I'm gonna hit you up, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I already know, like, you have that skill set, you have that ability or that talent, and there's a little bit of interest there. yo, man, let's make this happen, and I've been learning to just to really be more aggressive, towards the things that I'm trying to build, and that I'm working towards, and it's really helped me to get out of that shell, of just kind of approaching everything was just being too humble at times, man, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel sometimes it's you have to let people know like what your goals are, who you are, and the value that you bring for them to give you the respect that they need. You know what I'm saying? That you need sometimes for you to really get what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah. And how have you been able to do that? Being able to be less humble, or at least be able to put in a specific, use it in a specific time. Because being
Yeah.
humble, there's being humble and then there's being way too humble. Like,
Yeah.
I was a little bit way too humble, and people
Yep.
started, you know, they sometimes people also just take advantage of it.
Exactly. Because you can
So
be
how
so
have you been
humble
able to
that
do
you
it?
miss opportunities.
Yeah. So how have
You
you
know what
been
I'm
able to
saying?
navigate through that? How have you been able to set the record straight for people that are working with you, just or people in your life? Because
Yeah.
it's kind of hard.
It is. It's a challenge, man. And I just being more assertive, man, to be honest with you. And a lot of it comes from confidence, you know,
Absolutely.
and so I think back to, my sales days back when I was in sales, and just being mindful that every day I'm out on a gig, I'm selling myself, and so I have to be confident in the fact that if you called me, you invited me out to this show, whatever, and you want me to film, you're paying me my fee that I've asked to be paid for, then you're trusting me to bring the value, and you're paying me for my mind and what I bring. So I can't come up and show insecurities and doubtful of myself if you're showing that you have faith in me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's what I really started to say. Hey, I'm here. I'm the guy for this job. I know what I'm doing, and this is what we need to do to make it happen. And so it's just I'm able to take control over the sets. I'm able to take control over certain shots that I need, and just really like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Even for videographers, doing people doing photography, you're pretty much selling yourself all the time.
100%.
Though that's
100%.
still a profession where you are a hustler.
Yep.
You have to make sure that everything that you put out there is 100%, something that you are confident in
Yep.
showing. um
100%.
I know a lot of photographers on Twitter. I just connected with a bunch of photographers. There's actually a videographer here in Chicago. His name is Sean Brooks. He's actually really great. He's
Dude, there's a
good.
ton of talent in
Yeah,
Chicago.
yeah.
It's
Oh, but this
crazy.
guy, this guy, I don't know how I was able to connect with him. I just saw a couple of his videos on Twitter, and I just followed him. He followed me back. We've been chatting here and there, but
Nice.
there are a couple of professions that you look at and like, man, these people are still hustling. You know,
Yeah,
you,
man.
YouTubers in a way they do too, but you look at some, the professions like comedians, like
Hmm.
videographers, photographers, those freelance type of professions,
Yep.
and they still exist till,
100%.
and now. And I think that maybe 2020 has been something, that's, I know it's hard to and it's terrible to say, but like it, for a couple of them, it was kind of like a blessing, because they were able to
Oh
take
yeah.
whatever was going on, and they were able to make beautiful art, like yourself, what
Hmm.
you did,
Hmm.
with your video. And that, you know it, in times of, in dark time, during dark times, people like yourself have been able to create beautiful art with it.
100%, man. I've been saying for like the longest that we were kind of going into a new like modern age Renaissance era. And I really, I
Yeah.
still strongly just believe and feel that way, just because if you look at the way everything is it's like shifting, it's between two things. You have technology and then you have like creative arts, and visual arts. That's what you see and are bombarded with constantly.
Yeah.
And the marriage is with businesses. because businesses need that advertisement and everything is shown on the digital platform now. So it's all visuals. So it's a constant opportunity for people that have that kind of mindset. You know, there's so much opportunity right now for creatives to capitalize it and do very, 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 very well on, if you kind of get out there and you kind of have that hustle that you mentioned, man. You gotta know how to get out there. You can't be fearful.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for many people, and it was a big issue for myself, of just doing something
Hmm.
is just confidence. You brought that up earlier.
Yeah.
You just had that confidence, and that is something that I think so many people lack, and we get twisted with. I mean, we get confused on whether it's lack of confidence, depression,
Hmm.
lack of anything else.
Hmm.
um for myself, like I was able to narrow it down last year. I was like, you know what, I think I'm just like, my issue is confidence. And like the biggest thing about confidence is you have to make sure to first love yourself,
100%.
be comfortable with yourself,
Hmm.
and just at the end of the day, if it's going to be done, like let's say what you're doing, if it's going to be done, like that video that you made, that
Hmm.
piece, if it's going to be done, you might as well have it be you
Yep.
rather than somebody else,
Exactly.
because somebody else is going to have
Exactly.
it. And so then once you get that confidence part out of the way,
Yep.
that issue, you could do
Yeah,
so
man.
much.
100%, man. But I feel that a lot of people, they struggle with that, but they have like flawed or skewed expectations as well. You can't expect to jump into something brand new that you know very little or nothing about and to just be this confident guru. Like that doesn't work like that.
No.
And that's another reason why for me, like I've hesitated to put out trainings and all that stuff that I see a lot of other people doing, because I know for me I'm not there yet. I'm not at that level to where that I feel that I have that much to offer to someone else. I can give you basics and foundation knowledge and show you how to get your footing, about you. But I'm still at that point of where I'm building consistency to where I am building my confidence. When you do something consistently, you're gonna consistently get better at it. And then when you get better, you're gonna have more confidence because you've gotten better. But it
Yep.
starts with just doing something, finding out what it is that you want to do, and just do it consistently. And you will get better and you will build confidence.
That's true. 100%. So you have your wife has the podcast. You have your video, your video work that you're doing. What else? What is it that Justin does? Like, what's going on in your life? Because I did see that you are playing video games, but what are some of the things that you like to do?
As far as like hobbies, you saying?
Yeah, just hobbies. Like, what does
Yeah. Dude,
what's
that
the
question,
dealio?
yeah, that question honestly has been so hard for me to answer recently. Just because, man, like my business, when I get up and I'm going and I'm doing jobs, it doesn't feel like work. It
Yeah.
feels like I'm still doing my hobby, but I'm just paid for
Hmm.
it. I don't really know how to make that put it any other way. What I'm what I might, I'll tell you this: what I'm working towards, like I want to start doing films, and you're gonna see more because I put out like 5 or 6 short films last year, but I want to level up that quality this year, and I'm not gonna put out as many, but like I want like high end stuff, like something that you expect to see on a Netflix, Amazon, So that's what my goal is this year. I want to be able to do more creative stuff like that. So I would say that is kind of like my passion now, or like a hobby for me, like scripting. Like I have a short script that I wrote last year that I'm going to be developing this year. So just kind of doing that, man. And then you guys, like I said, like you mentioned, the video games. I'm trash when it comes to them, but I love hopping on there. For me, the video games are kind of more of like an escape. And I'm just kind of decompress. So I'll stream it from time to time, but that's it, man.
Sweet. So coming back, um, what phone do you have?
Man, you're gonna laugh at me, man. I'm rocking the what is this? I don't even know what phone this is. This will tell you, Marcos, how bad I've gotten away from this shit, bro. I don't even know, man. This is like the iPhone. It's the 11 Pro,
Oh, that's
11
what?
Pro
No,
Max.
that's not the 11 Pro. That's the 10s Max.
Yes, see, I
Yes.
told you. I don't even. I'm so over phones, bro.
That
Dude,
is not
I'm
an old.
over
That is not an
phones.
old phone though.
It's not an old
That's so
phone,
good. What are you talking
but
about?
I only say that because I used to get the phone anytime it dropped. Like I would be there getting that shit, man. I'm over that, bro. I'm over it, man. I ain't gonna say I'm over it. I'm trying to save money. Let me say that.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Prices are ridiculous on phones. You know, I was able to. I get things. So I have a. I what this is what I do. I purchase a phone and I make sure that that is in my budget for the year of buying phones because I test them out,
Okay,
and that's my, I guess, hobby. So what I
got you,
do is
got you.
that is my budget right there. So anything that I buy is either because I sold that phone and with that money I bought the new phone,
Bust something.
or I was able to get it on a discount. Kind of like the AirPod Maxes. I did
Got you.
this episode on my podcast about them, and I was just saying that they're great. They
Hmm.
sound great. They're not life changing at all. I still have the
Got you.
Sony XM3s, but I was able to get a good deal on them, and I was like, all right, cool. For that, yes, but I'm not gonna spend $600. I was able to get them for a really good price, uh, a really good price. So I was able to do
That's
that,
what's
but
up.
even with that, just devices itself,
Dude, it's just
everything's just
expensive,
it's
man.
just too
It's
expensive.
it's 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 nuts. And then all of the things that I enjoy, it costs too damn much, man. It costs too much. Like cameras, bro. You know cameras are not cheap. And I'm a Sony shooter. It's one of the most expensive mirrorless cameras and lenses that you're gonna buy, bro. Like
Yes,
yeah, man. Like, and then I have my own production company. You know, it's not just cameras, it's lights, it's
computers.
mics, it's computers, it's laptops, it's streaming equipment.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of shit.
It's too much, man. There should be like some sort of
Yeah.
tax, like there should be some sort of help for people who want to buy them for work.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
crazy. I have I believe it's the Sony RX10 or Sony
Oh, okay,
RX100.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I bought that about 3 years ago.
Okay.
That thing's still great. That's what I'm shooting on right now. I was like,
Nice.
oh, okay, dust it off. Like, I was like, all right, cool. But that's the thing with cameras; they last long, right?
They do, man.
And
They
I'm only
do.
asking you because I don't know the ins and I don't know anything about cameras. I
Yeah.
told you that this a long time ago. Like, I don't know anything. I want to learn, but I don't know anything about cameras. So, what's a camera? What's a DSLR? What's their lifespan? What, I don't know.
It varies, man. Honestly, all that it's hard to get like a straight answer like on like a lifespan or something like that because they're just like phones, bro. It depends on how you use it. You know what I
Right,
mean? I see people shooting like there's people that shoot with they call them retro. These are cameras are like they're 50, 30, 40, 50 years old that are still in operation. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's more on the photography side, like your film cameras and all that.
right,
With video, just the technology isn't there. I mean, there are people that still shoot on VHS just for a certain look. So it's whatever works for you. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to say. It's like if you take care of your gear, it'll take care of you. Like it'll last. You keep it clean and all that because
right,
most of the stuff like I love like any real camera enthusiast they don't spend a lot of money on like buying the newest latest greatest, man. They find their local used camera shops and they
right.
live in them places, man. Like that's my favorite spot to go to is my local spot this year. I go there damn near at least once or twice a week, just because they constantly get new stuff in. And like how you mentioned, you come across stuff that you just get for a really good price, and you may be able to resell or use for a minute and whatever. I get that like all the time, man, like all the time, just because I'm constantly like looking for some of those deals, and I know kind of what things like, hey, I can buy this and use this for a bit because I have a need over here, or I'm like, hey, I know I can sell this and make a
Right.
little bit of extra change if I need it.
What so the lenses itself, there's a lens for any type of photo that you're trying to capture. This is a dumb question. This is a stupid question. And again, I don't know. I don't know about cameras. I don't know. Don't trust me. You could talk to me about phones. I could tell you about anything about phones. I could tell you anything about TV shows or just like wrestling or something, boxing, anything. But when it comes down to cameras, I don't
So it's
know.
not your forte.
No, but man, I want to learn so bad, but it's like I don't have the extra space right now.
Trust me, I
And
get it.
yeah,
I get it.
it'll get there. I'll upgrade my brain in
Yeah,
that
when you
time
when you have a need
one
for
day.
it, and you're like, all
Yeah,
right, man, I gotta figure this shit out. I need a new
I'll
setup.
I'll do a
Justin,
software update.
yeah, yeah.
Get
They gotta
more.
clear the cache.
Yeah, but so the lenses,
Hmm.
are these lenses, are they used on different cameras or just like one specific camera?
So you're gonna have different mounts. Okay, so
Okay.
you have mounts that range from PL, EF, E mount, A mount. There's for every type of camera, they may create a specific mount for it. And so some the PL mounts are typically like the cinema cameras, they're most expensive. And then you have like your everyday DSLR, your mirrorless cameras. They're gonna have their own kind of specified lens mounts. So there's things that you can purchase to use like older lenses on newer cameras, or a Sony lens on a Panasonic camera, or vice versa. Like speed boosters is what they're called, or adapters. So that's it, man. But the just as I'm talking about lenses, that's the most important thing. Your camera body is important, but it's not the most important. If you have good glass, it almost doesn't matter like how bad your camera body is, because you can kind of push the limits, of the camera with really, really good high end glass.
Right. Is so I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos on tech reviewers,
Okay,
and
nice.
I would listen to, I would get their input on certain things, but
Hmm.
it seems that the last year, I kind of stopped listening to a lot of tech reviewers because either the bias was
Yep.
too real,
Hmm.
or I think what would happen is, I think the biggest issue for me is a lot of YouTubers or a lot of tech reviewers kind of put you down whenever they're reviewing a phone. So let's take for instance like the Galaxy S21 Ultra, right?
Okay.
So crazy specs, crazy. The cameras are the camera's supposed to be great, 108 megapixels and all that stuff. And then they look at the Pixel 5 and they're like, oh yeah, this still has basically the same camera as the last year's model and the 3.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like, for anybody, like I have a Pixel 5 as well, and for me it's just like, okay, well, I've been taking photos with this phone and I've been taking photos with my Pixel, and my
Hmm.
Pixel has been winning the majority of these shots. Like it's
Wow.
it's still better than the Galaxy S21 Ultra. And so then I was just thinking about like, okay, so there's this thing about like knocking. It's kind of like it's a subtle knock towards people who have these older phones, or just or these newer phones that have like old hardware. But hardware doesn't matter. Kind of like what you said, the body
Hmm.
doesn't really matter. It's just all about like when you put everything together, and even with
Exactly.
your creativity, that's
Yep.
when you create magic. And
Exactly.
it's the same thing with these phones. Like it doesn't matter how many megapixels you have.
Mhm.
Yes, I did say megapixels. It doesn't matter how many
Look, I wasn't
megapixels
gonna say
you
nothing.
have, but like when it comes down to it, like if the hardware and the software don't talk to each other, it's not going to create the magic that you're
Worthless.
trying to get. So I have noticed, and Sean Brooks, the one that I was following on Twitter, and
Hmm.
another YouTuber, I believe it was technically T,
Okay.
but about 4 months ago they released this new camera and they're going crazy over it. Oh, um this is the new vlogging camera. I think it was like a
Okay. Yeah.
Sony, it
Yeah.
was like a compact camera or so. And they were knocking it, and I was like,
Hmm.
okay, well, I guess people in the video world are having the same issue than the tech
Yep.
world.
It's universal, man. It's universal, and it's like you said, it's the bias. And then as you kind of get a little bit more understanding about kind of how that world works, start finding out, people get paid to say certain things and all of that. So you got to take everything, man, with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Like I stopped, man. Like I made a really expensive, dumbass purchase by listening to some of them YouTube reviews, man. And I it's just like I'll never do that again. Like I just
Yeah,
won't. I bought a gimbal, man. It was a gimbal, and it was like first gen of this particular iteration of it, and it was shit, bro. It was shit. It was like $1,200 that I literally wasted because within 3 months of purchasing it, I had to send it back, and I didn't have it for like 2 months, which I missed out on a lot of gigs because I just had to utilize. I couldn't use it,
right.
so it was a headache, man. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So now, if I buy something, I'm thoroughly testing it out within their return period.
Yeah,
If I don't like it, I'm sending that shit back.
absolutely. And that's basically a smart consumer. It's not all about listening to what's. I was talking to a friend of mine, and when I was talking to him about the whole like Pixel and the Ultra, the S21, he was like, "Yeah, but
Yeah.
it has more megapixels." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it doesn't matter,"
Yeah.
And so when it comes down to a lot of people, they don't care about how it works.
Yeah.
They just want to make sure that it seems like the best of the best.
Yeah.
Last year's Galaxy S20 Ultra was not the way to go. You were better off getting the S20 Plus.
Yeah.
And it again, it just doesn't make sense. So I did the same thing as you did. I stopped listening to
Mhm.
to YouTubers too, and it was just like, man, I don't know. There's just like something going on now, and where it's as if it's new, it's the way to go.
100%, man.
And there are even like kid YouTubers, and like I'm not knocking these kid YouTubers. They're starting off, and by the time they're 20, there's like 13. By the time they're 20, 18, they're gonna be big.
Millionaires. Yeah.
But you also kind of first, I can't see a video of a 13-year-old telling me how a phone is gonna change my life.
It's like, yeah, like what kind of
Like
life do you have?
you don't know what a savings account is.
Right.
You don't know what a savings account is.
So
Like
it's like you
you don't
cannot
have
know the
savings,
basic
or
functions of this phone.
yes, or if you're buying these expensive phones, how are you getting these expensive phones in the first place? Like, I don't know how you're doing it, but
Right.
like, look, hey, whatever, to each their own. You're gonna lose out on your childhood. It's okay. Like, I would want to play baseball outside and
Right.
not
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
deal with tech. But yeah, there's just this whole thing of if it's new, it's out there, we're gonna show it to you, and this is the
Yeah.
best thing. But there are certain YouTubers that I've been listening to that don't go that path,
Yeah.
and those are more of like the conversational, like these are the more of the
Yep.
podcast type of episode, uh tech reviewers, which I think there should be more of, even can like camera reviewers, just
Yeah. It's
anything
just the
tech.
thing is, man, people are drawn to the flashy. I mean, we seen it, in sales, bro. Like people are drawn to the charismatic, the outgoing person. It doesn't matter if they're selling them shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you can talk about it well and make it look fancy and pretty, people are gonna buy it. And that's what get people. And that's why I don't think that these companies, they don't care. They're gonna keep doing what they're doing because at the end of the day, they're just trying to sell a product.
Right.
So it's like if I can find one person where I can load them up with whatever they need and they're gonna go sell the shit for me, why would I not do that? You know what I mean? It sucks, like you said, for the consumers
Right.
because we sometimes get duped. If you don't do your diligence and research and find out for one if you really need it and really what it is, you're gonna get screwed.
Yeah, definitely. I don't. It's interesting how, like, when it comes down to camera, like I got this camera and I'm okay with it. I'll probably be with
Yeah.
this camera until I die, 65 million years from now. Or like these headphones. I still love these headphones. I'm still keeping these headphones. My AirPod
Nice.
Maxes, I make myself listen to them. I make myself hear, listen to those things like movies, whenever I'm eating breakfast or so. Or even when I'm on lunch. I can't wear them outside.
Yeah.
I'll get
Really?
robbed.
Really?
I'll get man.
What? Are you serious?
You see those headphones, and okay, right now, well, in the past like what 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
there have been like a spike in carjacks in Chicago.
Wow.
They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it in the news. And I'm like, look, I'm just saying that from my experience, uh,
Yeah.
there have been there's a hike in these there's an increase of this, all over, even downtown is like the most, right?
Wow.
I work in downtown. I'm
Got
not
you.
going to be walking around
Yeah, yeah.
with AirPod Maxes.
Yeah, making yourself a target. Yeah,
Hell
no,
no.
I'm with you. That's
No.
that's yeah, that's just
i'm
smart.
I'm not going to spend a certain amount of money so then that way I could have it stolen by
Yep.
somebody. And that's the bad part. Like I want
Yeah.
to wear them. I want to use them like everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And that again, when I was talking about it on I guess my review, or just talking about it in general, that's one thing that you have to think about. Like
That's
if you're gonna
yeah.
listen to them, like on the go, like walking around, like yeah, the chances of you getting robbed are pretty high. And it's not a
That's
joke
nuts,
in
man.
Chicago. It's not a joke in Chicago. Like I don't think Chicago, I mean, yeah, Chicago is dangerous as hell, and as
Yeah.
long as you know where to navigate, you'll be fine. But
Gotcha.
when you have things like that and you're in, like, let's say you're in the train station, you're in the train station or train bus, doesn't matter,
Yeah.
you're gonna get robbed.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
No matter where you're at.
That's crazy. And that's a sad thing that I have to really like consider when purchasing technology. You know what I mean? Like it's like, geez, man, that's crazy. It's like, it used to be like that with your tennis shoes, clothing, but it's like now it's gotten to technology, right? That's nuts. But I mean, I feel it's funny because I feel that similarly with when I go on certain shoots. Um, and I ain't gonna go down a whole rabbit hole, but it's like as one of the big reasons why I keep all
Ooh,
of my
rabbit
my
hole.
my stuff insured,
Yeah.
and why I
Always
don't do
insure
certain
your
shoots.
things, guys.
Yes, insurance, man.
Don't decline the protection plan. Like,
It-
don't.
right.
Like, eh,
Put it
you're
on
not
there,
buying a
man.
$200 phone anymore. You're buying $1,000 phone. You're buying
Yeah.
$1,000 equipment. Everybody, offers it, whether you go to Best Buy, whether you buy your stuff from like your carrier, Sony, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
You better have some sort of insurance, because at the end of the day, you're screwed.
One
You know,
hundred percent, man. That's it.
that's
That's
one
so
thing people
true.
don't talk about anymore. They don't care about insurance. It's like, you're an idiot. Like, I'm sorry,
Man.
I'm sorry, but like, if you decline it, you're pretty much just telling somebody, I don't care if this breaks and I had to pay another $4,000 on this
Yep.
camera or something. Like, no, man, just
If they offer
pay for it.
insurance, I try to get it, man. Unless it's like I know I'm covered under another insurance that I have. But I
Yes.
always, man, I need that peace of mind. Because I'm telling you, I done been, I've seen too many people in that situation where it's like, damn, I don't have this, I have nothing else, and I didn't have insurance. What can you do to help me? Sir, ma'am, there is nothing that I can do to help you. I am sorry to tell you.
Can't help you. Sorry. It
Yeah,
sucks. Oh my god. What are
it's
you
rough.
what are you drinking over there? I see a bottle.
Yeah, man, I'm sipping on what is this? Dragon's Milk by Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout, New Holland. You mess with that?
Top 3 drinks of all time.
Hey,
Top
there we
4, maybe.
go.
Top 4. I
That's what's up.
have, yes, Dragon's Milk. First of all, how are you not buzzed?
Hold on,
He's
hold
like,
on.
I think he's
I am
like,
a lightweight when it comes to alcohol. I am damn near
you're a
drunk.
lightweight and you're drinking Dragon's Milk? What?
But see, this is the thing, man. I don't drink a lot and I don't drink often, but I love like craft beers and I love, like stouts and lagers. It's the only beers that I drink. I hate IPAs. I will drink them, but I'm not a fan. But when it
Right.
comes to stout and lagers, the higher the APV, I love it, man. I love
Again, you're saying that you're a lightweight and you drink. If you were a lightweight,
it.
you would be knocked out right now. I would be doing this whole thing by myself, and you'd be like,
Well, let me say this. I've built my time, so I've been drinking a little bit this whole week. So there's a local brewery that I love a lot, man. And they have a Russian Imperial Stout that's like 9%. And so I had
"Oh,
been sipping on that all week. So it's probably that.
right." What's your top 3 if you had to pick, or top 5?
Ooh, five is gonna
Top
be
5.
hard. I can give you three at least. When it comes to
Okay,
beers,
3.
because
3.
I'll give you my number one. It's the same local brewery. It's called Wolf's Ridge, but they have this coffee stout. It's called Daybreak. Man, that thing is good. I love it. I like that. Then my second would probably be I'm gonna go. It's another local brewery. They have a Russian Imperial Stout. It's really, really good, man. And my third, I'm gonna catch some slack for this, but I'm gonna say Yingling, man. I kind of like some cheap, a little cheap
It's
Yingling.
okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
whatever like floats your boat. I would say my number one is my go to no matter what.
Yeah. What's that?
It would have to be Gumball Head by Three Floyds.
Okay, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, so it's a brewery. Unfortunately, they closed. It's in
Ah,
Indiana.
okay.
But second would be crap. Um, I would say maybe Guinness because it
Okay.
never fails for me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that stout. I love stouts. And then the other one, it's one from Chicago. I mean, no, one from San Diego. Uh,
Okay.
it has a stupid beaver in the cover, but it's like a peanut butter stout. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yes. Let me see, beaver stout,
Okay.
San Diego.
I
I'm
know
pretty
I'm a
sure
fan of a couple peanut butter porters, man. I forget which one. There was one that's really good that I like.
Elchin Beaver. That's what it's called.
Elgin Beaver.
Yes, but it says permanently closed.
Damn.
Damn,
See, that's
man.
another impact from COVID that I don't think we're
Ah,
still and we're still experiencing, man. Places are closing left and right, man.
alcohol. Alcohol is closing. What? We need
Crazy.
alcohol to heal.
Crazy.
All right.
Crazy.
Jesus. I'm over here.
It's
I'm
nuts.
stuck with
See,
Some,
that's my normal go-to there. Some old Jacks, baby.
yeah. I didn't have time to get a glass, so I just been pouring it on on the.
Put it in there.
Sorry.
Whatever, do it, man.
Whatever works.
Hey, it gets a job. It's a
I mean,
job
it
done.
does
That's
have
all that matters.
strawberry, so it doesn't taste bad actually. It's
Yeah.
yeah. I was drinking LaCroix before,
Okay.
like the yeah. So I stopped doing that, and I now drinking this. I don't know.
Perrier.
Yeah, it's not bad. I
Whiskey and Perrier. That is an interesting drink there.
listen, Justin. I have problems. I'm not an alcoholic, but I have problems with like being able to mix drinks. Yeah, I'm
Hey man,
sorry.
that's why I'm telling you, bro. That's why I'm a lightweight, man. Like
I'm a
I just
weirdo.
drink me some beer, man. Give me a beer. I get
Yeah,
to drinking liquor, buddy.
I can never mix drinks though. I
Oh
mean, like
no,
mix alcohols. I can't do that. That's just
no.
like
That's
it's
just
either a
asking
beer
for
or
it.
a whiskey for me. That's it.
Yeah, I'm
Like
with you. I'm with
whiskey.
you.
I
Yeah.
I'm trying to find different whiskeys though. I like
Are
this
you?
one. This is always my go-to, but I'm trying to figure out which whiskeys to go. I did try Conor McGregor's.
Okay. What'd you think of
Yeah,
that? I haven't tried that one.
it was good. It's not
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just I mean, I think it's like $25.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you just wanna if you wanna if you wanna show off, even though you're not really showing off because it's only $25.
Yeah, it's
But if you really
25.
want, like, hey guys, I am a Conor McGregor fan, you just bust it out, and that's it. Because you don't buy it to have it in your home. You're
Got
gonna
you.
buy it to take it to a party, just so then people are like, "Oh my god, he's a Conor McGregor fan." Like, I don't
I'm
know why
with you.
you would want to
I'm with
flex
you.
on that, but it's good. It's not too. It's pretty smooth. It's not too harsh.
Okay.
Um, I'm okay with it. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it, but I'm trying to find out different. Like I'm trying to find different whiskeys. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I'm a coffee
I'm gonna
guy.
give you one. I'm gonna give you one, man.
Ooh,
Uncle Nearest. You ever heard of Uncle Nearest?
Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest.
It sounds like something I don't want.
It's actually something you do want. I'm gonna tell you why. You sipping Jack. So Uncle Nearest is the originator of the Jack Daniels whiskey recipe. He was a slave that was actually who created all of that, and he was not able. They didn't give him credit, so they allowed him though to take his own
Yes.
recipe and create that. Yeah. So
I
Uncle
heard
Nearest,
about
man.
it. That was,
Yeah.
oh my god, that was on my list.
Dope. Dope.
Yeah, because I did hear about that. I was like, okay, I want to try this one out. And this was like 6 months ago. Just
Okay.
I forgot about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, once you brought that up and yeah, that whole thing,
And it's good too, man. I don't remember the price. Last time I remember seeing it, it was like 40 a bottle, I believe.
yeah, $40.
Yeah, but it's good, man. It's incredibly smooth. It's high end. You if you like Jacks, you'll like it, man. You'll like Uncle Nearest.
I'm definitely gonna go ahead and check it out. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it right now. There's a bunch of snow, so I'm not gonna go right now. I haven't even I haven't even I haven't even made any food. I still have to eat later.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, I
See,
got
man.
there's the so I'm a wrestling fan. So
Okay.
the Royal
There's
Rumble
something
is on
going on
today.
tonight. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble is on tonight. So probably have to order myself some pizza and then go from there.
That's
Yeah.
funny, man. That's funny. So that's the
But
perks of being married, man. My food was waiting on me when I got back.
well, I like cooking. I like
That's
cooking.
what's up.
Yeah, hell
I do
yeah.
too. I enjoy it, but I'll be trying to cook all the time, man. I be tired sometimes.
I'm a I'm a prize, man. like you could cook and everything. Let me fix this guy. This guy's acting up.
Oh man.
There you go. Punk ass. Camera. I don't know why a camera does that. I think it's a timer or something. Oh yeah, that's right. It's like a 30-minute timer.
Yep.
But
Are you recording on there?
so once I hit record, it gets to this resolution. So did you see how it changed?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one just looks like grainy.
Yep. That's because I was
So
gonna say, like, when you're doing it like when you're doing like this though, man, you don't even need to record on your cam. It should just
yeah,
pass through it.
but I did when I was trying it out, it was just grainy, and this
Oh,
part
okay.
it just looks better.
I got
So
you.
yeah, dude, all morning I was just messing with everything on the manual,
I
and
got you.
I took classes. I took a filming class
Did you?
3 years ago, and
Nice.
everything just went. I mean, it stayed there for it was like it was there, and then when I cleared my cache, it just went away. So I need to make sure to be able to I got to get back on it. I got to read
I'm
up
with
on
you.
it. I had to do a whole like video, and I was doing this whole thing where I was reviewing the iPad,
Oh,
and
okay.
I did pretty good on it. Yeah,
Nice.
I actually got an A on it, and then I just stopped. Man, that's just the whole thing. It was just all about like that confidence issue. But then the last year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop being a little bitch. Because the thing is, you like you said, you're getting older,
Yep.
and you kind of stop giving a crap. And
Yep.
I already had that old man mentality. Like
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear anybody. I didn't want to hear any kids cry when I was watching a movie. When I was at the theater. When I'm at a baseball game, I like to watch the game.
That's
And then
hilarious.
when it comes down to lawn, you better get off my lawn. So, the only thing I don't know. I just once you get older, you stop caring, and that's what happened. I just
You
stopped
do,
caring, and I
man.
was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this because you know you have to get away from what you're doing if it's not your career.
Yeah. Yep.
You have to get away from that because if it's not your career and you're like you're 25 or old, I guess 25 or old are still good. I mean, especially with in my community,
Hmm.
it's kind of hard to even get your degree, or
It
not
is.
a lot
Yeah.
of people get their degree, unfortunately. It's tough times, tough times. But no, the struggle is real. But after 30, if you got out of the game, like of your neighborhood, and you,
Hmm.
you're not a bad kid, you're not a bad person, you're doing whatever you need to be doing,
Yep.
and if you're still working at a place that is not your career, you have to do other things,
You got to figure it out,
because
man.
you can't
Yeah.
settle.
Yep.
And
So
you
true.
have to also make sure that you're moving along with time, because things change, whether right now, like pandemic, people are losing their jobs, businesses are going down. So
Hmm.
you have to adapt. And you have to do what you need to do to survive down the line. You can't just stand still and hope that Uncle Sam helps you out. Like, you have to start doing your own thing. And
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
someone like yourself, someone like myself, and other people that I started to connect with,
Hmm.
and have people that have also been my friends, like, or coworkers, that I've noticed that they're worth more than because everybody's worth more. But if you're
Yeah.
really putting the time, if you really are going to put the time and the effort to get better, like,
Hmm.
those are the people that I want to be hanging
Right.
around with. you know
Same.
not the
Same.
people that are going to not the people that are I want to say complaining, but I don't want to hang around with people that come up with excuses as to why they're
Yes.
being held back. And
Exactly.
even
Yep.
if it's true that we are being held back, that doesn't mean that you can't go forward. That just means
Exactly.
that the struggle is more real than any other for yourself than any other person.
Yep.
And once you get to from point A to point B,
Hmm.
oh my god, man, it's just so,
It's so
even if
much
you
more.
fail,
It's more fulfilling, man. It's so
even if you
much
fail.
more fulfilling. Yes, because man, this is I've I don't know. Like, it's hard to say. Like, I don't know. I can't say if I train myself to think like this or be like this, but I'm an optimist, man. And it's I don't look at failure as failure because I'm still learning something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The only time I really feel like I've failed in a situation is if I walk away from something that I did not succeed in and I didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
But if I learned something, I don't care if I didn't necessarily succeed. I got something out of it.
Yep.
So I know the next time it comes around, I'm going to be better. I'm going to do it and I'm going to achieve more and I get more out of it. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
that's just my philosophy with anything and how I look at life in general. Just because like I'm always learning, I'm always evolving, I'm always changing, man. And one of my something I thought was like one of my favorite quotes or whatever from Bruce Lee, and I joke around and I tell my kids this all the time. But be like water, man. Be
Yes.
like water. You know what I mean? Just learn to adapt and just go, man. Like there's gonna always be shit that you cannot change. There's gonna always be like problems and situations that are gonna try to stop or hinder you from getting to wherever it is that you feel that you're trying to get to. But it's a matter of the mindset that you have in dealing with those problems or situations. I'm gonna
Yep.
always see if you bring me problems, I'm gonna always give you solutions because that's just who I am. And that's just how my mind has been trained to operate. Like I don't see problems as problems. I see them as opportunities where I can either get paid or put myself in a different position.
Yep.
So it's like I welcome the problems. You know, I love when I'm talking to a client and they're like, man, I cannot figure out X, Y, and Z. Well, you know what? I am so happy that you came to me because I've got it figured out. This is what we're gonna do.
Absolutely. That's the reason why I wanted you to come in. That's the reason why I wanted you to be my first guest. Just because I don't know, it's just something about certain people that I gravitate towards and don't let go of. And you are one of those people. We only met, and was it 2015? We only hung around with each other for while we were in training for our
Yeah,
job for about
yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Even
man.
with that, like you were one of the people, I think one of the few, I think out of two people that I stuck around with just talking to. So I was like, you know what? There's something about certain people you just don't want to let go because their energy or what they put out, you
Yeah,
want that.
yeah. That's dope,
You
man.
want to be able to gravitate towards, you want to be able to say, hey, if this person is doing it, why not me?
Right.
On
Exactly.
my level, on my only,
Exactly.
my what I'm trying to do, and we're
Exactly.
not doing the same thing. I don't know anything
Yeah.
about video.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know anything about cameras, but you do. But the fact that but I do know my tech. I do
Right.
know why you would want to buy certain things,
Right.
why something doesn't work. Um, but man, it's just all about doing it, man. It's just all
That's
about
it,
like
man.
looking at yourself and being able to critique yourself, being
Yep.
able to tell yourself how much you suck in order
Yep.
to get better. And that doesn't
That's
mean that
it.
it's a bad thing.
Exactly.
That's just, hey, I suck right now. Let's
Yep.
get better.
Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
and no, man, thank you very much for coming by.
Of
And
course, man. I appreciate you for having
yeah.
me, man. Super.
Well,
And I super appreciate you, like constantly, reaching out, man, and just, you know what I mean? Just the connection, bro. Like you
100%.
like you mentioned, man, you were one of the ones that definitely stood out to me. I don't talk to anyone else, from the training, man. And like I appreciated, the vibe that you brought, man, and just the energy, that you've always had, man. Just chill, you know what I mean? Like I love that about you. I love that, just how you think in your mind, how you approach things. I think is super dope. That's why I'm super honored that you even reached out to me and asked me to be on, man. Like this is dope, man. I'm super happy for you, proud of what you're doing, and proud to be a part, man.
Well, we'll get better, and
Hundred
we'll
percent.
have you here more times than not. Like,
Oh
hopefully
yeah,
this will be like a monthly thing or so,
I'm
just to
down.
keep in touch. But it is time for me to bid you guys adieu, and you, Justin, peace.
Peace, man. Appreciate it again, bro.
All right, have a great one.
All right, man. You too.